at Queenie. Can't tell you guys. Seeing everybody walking through the doors. And that first day of school is, no matter how many times you've done it, including an old guy like me who's done it a million times, uh, how exciting it is, but also a little bit nerve wracking. I want to thank you all in advance for getting to your classes in period one and being there right now to watch this in period two. That's actually half the battle in these first couple of days. I know it's kind of weird to be starting school and then have the long weekend, but I actually think it's a great thing. It's going to let us get going, get a little bit of a sense of normality and regularity, and let your teacher start connecting with you in these first 2 days. So, our real goal these first 2 days is really just that, to help you connect with your classmates and your teachers. We're going to try to keep the amount of information coming at you to a minimum. But there are a few things that Mr. Lebecmo and I just want to take a few seconds to go through and make sure that we're all on the same page about. But so this will be pretty brief. First thing up, in your period one classes, all of your teachers talked about one of the big changes for this school year, and that is our new device policy. And I'm not going to read that whole letter that I wrote to you that your teachers went over with you, but I just want to say that while the policy is provincial mandate, so throughout the whole province of Alberta, every school from K to 12 is enacting the same policy. And that policy is basically, we do not have devices out during class time distracting us from the good work of learning. Okay. It's pretty straightforward. And again, it's pretty common all the way throughout. And while it is a provincial mandate, I also want to be super clear that I think it's a good thing. And I know sometimes it doesn't feel like a good thing. I'm looking at a few of our crew right now with leery faces. I know we're used to having our phones at the ready. I'm one of them. But one of the things that we know, research is telling us, that the very presence of this phone, even in my pocket, is actually making me less effective. It's making me less connected with all of the people that I need to connect with. Okay. So I'm actually convinced this is going to be a good thing. The one thing I want to stress is that I do not want this to be a source of conflict, right? Each one of your teachers is going to talk about their process. The process is pretty simple, right? You know, if you're really worried about your phone and think it's going to be a problem, you do have the choice to leave it at home. Now, I suspect few of you are going to do that. The other option, and I think actually a pretty sensible option, is to leave that phone in your locker, okay? We have camera coverage all over. We do not have issues with theft from lockers, right? That is a safe space where you can leave your phones. The other one, and I think the most common approach that people are going to take, is simply surrendering their phone off when they walk in to class every day. And again, many of our teachers were already doing this. This will not be a new thing for you. I know many of you in grade 10 coming from junior highs who had this policy in place. So what is important for me, and I tried to articulate it in the letter, is to recognize that this is actually coming from a good space, and it is going to be a good thing for all of us. It's coming from a place, and I know you may blush when I say this, but it's coming from a place of love. Every one of the adults here care about you, and that's the spirit that I want to take into this new policy. And I'm going to leave it at that for now. If you have questions, any adult in this building can help you, and certainly if you need to talk to me about unique circumstances or any of our admin team, you can come find us at any point in time. Okay. Enough about phone policy, all of that stuff. The other thing I'll just bring to everyone's attention is that this is the first year where we are running an early Thursday timetable. And I know some of you have experience with those from your elementary and junior high schools. First year Queenie's done it in a while. We think it's going to be a good thing to get us in sync with all of the other schools. I know many of you are in situations where you're picking up little brothers and sisters. So it's going to help us with that. The other thing I think it's going to help with is just one day a week where you get a chance to have a little bit of an earlier start to your evening, a good chance to get caught up on homework, and a good chance for us as a staff to meet and do all the things we need to do to support you. So just a reminder that every Thursday is an early Thursday and a slightly modified schedule. All of the new schedule is posted on School Zone. We will get some signage up around the school so you can see that regularly, but early Thursdays start today, in fact. So today you can actually look forward to having slightly shorter classes and an early end to the day. And I'll turn it over to Mr. Lebecmo to talk about a few more logistic things, and I'll come back on at the end.
Good morning, Queen. Welcome back. Mr. Lebecmo here. So my topic to start with is doors. Good for going in, good for going out, right? Clearly, I think we know how a door works, but there's a couple specific pieces that we want to address for coming and leaving Queen Elizabeth every day. So I think in a general sense, what we want to say, there's two main entrances, right? The main doors to the school on the north side, and the west side doors that people refer to often as angle, right? And so we really want to encourage that we use the doors to enter the school, those two main exits and entrances. And one of the changes that we'd like to address this year is on the front of the school in the northeast corner. There was quite often a lot of kids going in and out of the far doors. You will see some new signage saying these doors are for exit only. Similar to last year, you might have seen some chain, some barricade go up on the west side. You can expect to see that also over in that lower northeast corner. And that really is to limit the number of kids that are leaving and coming into the school. And you please understand that this is really a safety concern for all schools. You know that elementary schools have the buzz-in, the junior highs have it as well. And here at Queenie, we have the buzz-in system at the main doors. We do not want kids going in and out of our school without us having an idea of who you are. And really, again, topping that would be the whole presence of the IDs. Like, I am a Queen Elizabeth student, right? So just as a reminder, we want to encourage you to come in and out of the main doors, the west doors. The west doors angle will be open in the morning. They'll be open to come in at lunchtime. We do not want students to leave the school through the west doors. Yes, it might mean you have to take a couple extra walking steps. Yes, you might park like 57 feet away from those doors, but you're going to have to do some walking. Okay, so please respect those rules and that for the entrances. If you're late, our front doors buzz in, no problem. You've got easy access into the school. Just one more change too, into the phys ed hallway. Last year, there was the set of doors from the parking lot that some students were using, especially for kids coming out of the portables. Those doors this year are also going to be locked. We don't have very many classes occurring in the portables. So again, probably no need to use any other door but the main door to the school. Okay, so I think hopefully that cleans things up. You should see some new signage up. Obviously, if you've got questions, feel free to talk to any of us about the doors. I'll move on to the bathrooms. Bathrooms, right? We heard from our student body last year that our bathrooms were not safe. And we take that seriously. That is a difficult conversation to have with parents, with students who say, I can't even use the bathroom because we have vapors in there. We have too many kids in there. It's just like, I don't feel comfortable. You will right away, including today, already see signage up outside the bathrooms that limits the bathroom number to 6 people in at a time. And we're going to stick to that. So please use the bathrooms to go to the washroom. I do not want to see large gatherings of groups, nor does Mr. McEwen or anybody else. And certainly we know, and I'd be lying if we said the vaping and all the stuff that shouldn't be happening happens in the bathrooms. Well, number one, that's gross. It's illegal. But number one for us is we want to keep this place welcoming, safe, and the bathrooms just have to be used as a bathroom. So let's adhere to that new expectation for this year. So I think that I'll turn it back over to Mr. McEwen. We'll wrap up the last couple details here.
Gotcha. And I'm sure your attention is already waning. I have 3 more quick things for you. When it comes to hallways, and this goes right back to what Mr. Lebecmo was saying about a safe school, but also a school that's focused on your education. We do our best to try to keep traffic in the hallways down during class time. And this really depends on you, okay? If you are in a situation where you have a spare, you've got to have a plan for that spare. That plan cannot involve sitting or wandering the halls straight up. Okay, you have to know where you're going to go. The cafeteria will be an option for you. A library, including an expanded library section, will be an option for you starting tomorrow. Library is closed today. When it's beautiful outside, get outside. Take advantage of the limited beautiful days that we have. Okay, Probably the biggest thing that you can do to help the hallway congestion is a simple one that will also help you in school. Be on time. Okay. That means when that music starts playing, you have got to be rolling to class. We're a big school. We have 6 minutes in between classes. If you are on one side of the school, your priority should just be getting to class. You simply don't have time for the socializing. I will remind you, we have still, even with timetable changes, the longest lunch break in Edmonton Public. So you have plenty of time to talk with your friends at lunch. That space will be there for you, but we do need your help to keep our hallways clear. I want to thank everyone who came in the opening days of this week for registration. We figure that we saw about 3/4 of our students coming in for registration, getting their ID cards taken place, and getting timetable changes done. Realizing not everybody could make it out that day. If you don't have an ID card, which will be an important piece of the puzzle for you all year, don't fret. We will have photographers back next week on Wednesday, September 4th, to take pictures for anybody. And our hope is that we have 99% of the kids having their ID cards on their person every day by the end of next week. Okay. Timetable changes. If you are in a situation where you need to make timetable changes, we are making ourselves available after school today. And you can come and see us, and we'll have a contingent here running through timetables. I'm going to stress, however, we're a big school, my friends, 1,650 kids the last time I checked, and there is very limited room for movements. There certainly is no room for movements of convenience. I can't switch your period 1 class to a period 3 class. Okay. I can't switch this teacher for that teacher. Those won't happen. Okay. If you are in a situation where you're missing an important graduation requirement or something that another course is depending on, we can definitely look and try to help you out. But again, we cannot make those of convenience. If you are staring at me right now and you have a tire fire of a schedule and you don't have any courses, you do not have a schedule, you can certainly come down and see us in student services when you have a moment. But if you have schedules if you have classes scheduled, our expectation today is that you go to those classes and then take care of any necessary changes after school today. Last piece. I know many of you are itching to get going with our fall sports. Football is already off and running, but that doesn't mean that if you haven't been there for those opening training sessions, you can't come out. You can come out starting today. Mr. Chaps has his team off and running today at 4 p.m. in the field. You can see 3 o'clock. Oh yeah, because it's early Thursday. What am I doing? Yes. So football starts at 3. Volleyball will get going next week with tryouts scheduled for Tuesday and Wednesday. We are also planning to have an open gym at lunch on Friday. So anybody who is interested in volleyball, you're going to get your fix soon. And lastly, cross country runners. We don't have a time yet. I would think we will get started with that as early as Tuesday. So make sure that you've got your running shoes ready, and we'll get that going. And folks, I think really that is it. I just want to thank you for your time and attention. Again, every one of your teachers is a resource for you and can help you if you're worried about any of those start of school pieces. We'll be back on tomorrow with a few more little information items, but you should have everything you need. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the halls. Thank you.